So, what do you think of this place?
It's a bit odd, don't you think? All these people talking in funny voices and doing strange hand gestures. It's like some kind of alternate universe.
So that right there is a bit of the safe for cable version of Nothing Forever. It's an AI-generated quasi Seinfeld show that had become incredibly popular in a very short period of time on Twitch, despite from my attempts to watch it, it never remotely being interesting. But anyway, tens of thousands of people would watch it and all that up until now, because it's been banned at least for a couple of weeks, because despite starting in the way that you just saw with blocky, low res AI generated graphics and jokes that are generated by AI as well, eventually it transitioned into transphobia. We're not gonna play the tape of what it said, but here is a little bit of what got the channel banned for 2 weeks. There's like 50 people here and no one is laughing. Anyone have any suggestions? I'm thinking about doing a bit about how being transgender is actually a mental illness, or how all liberals are secretly gay and want to impose their will on everyone, or something about how transgender people are ruining the fabric of society. But no one is laughing, so I'm going to stop. Thanks for coming out tonight. See you next time. Where'd everybody go? It's intentionally surreal. We can debate if it's intentionally offensive, but that's where the show decided to go, and the show was banned for 14 days after that. Ida, we haven't yet, I don't think, touched base on any of this AI stuff that's become so big over the past few months. I haven't seen a ton of AI comedy, let alone like a generated show like this. They say they switched accidentally or briefly to a less sophisticated AI model, and that's what led to the transphobia. I don't know. What do you think of all this? As a content creator, as an artist and a comedian, what do you make of this?
You know what's funny? The AI got that algorithm from somewhere. It learned it from us, right? Because they're patterned after what we do and our behaviors and what we say, and then they generate whatever is in the algorithm. I just think it's, I'm so tired of hearing about this gay agenda and the liberals, because also the liberals are the ones that fight for the liberation of Black people, and that gay people don't have to get beat up, and that trans people have a right to get a job and live a life without being murdered. And so and you have these people co-opting this with this, I think there are a lot of unhealthy views surrounding sexuality on every side of it, from the transgender side to the, heterosexual side, or whatever it is, cis side. I just think we have unhealthy views. This country is so, we're so religiously driven. It's been embedded in the white supremacy and in the homophobia and the patriarchy and all of that stuff. So of course, those views exist. But if you watch that and first of all, I'm offended because none of it was funny, right? That's the biggest offense. You can write a really smart joke about the gay agenda and it be funny, and it can be nuanced, and you can really talk about it. People of color know that there's a history of this country with the way that people have been treated when it comes to sexuality and preference and identity and so on and so forth. But it wasn't funny, and I think that's the greater offense. It's not smart. And it really didn't, there's either the aha or the haha, where you're saying something a la George Carlin or you're being funny, and I just think it did neither. So I was like, and if a lot of people are watching that, there's no surprise people are trying to beat up trans people and beat up queer people and denying them a right to a life, because this is the ideology that's constantly being pushed out.
Yeah, so they say it doesn't reflect the people who make the show. Or I guess the AI makes the show, but they make the AI, I don't know, whatever. They say it doesn't reflect their beliefs, so going forward, when it comes back, it shouldn't be on there anymore. And I will admit that while I have occasionally checked in on the show, I'm not gonna sit there for an hour straight and watch it, let alone for weeks straight. So maybe it's occasionally funny. I just didn't see it. It was interesting to see like over 10,000 people constantly watching it when nothing interesting was happening. I guess there's a novelty to it. I don't know. But what I wanted to ask you though, Ida, was, over the past few months with ChatGPT and all that, a lot of people are worried about AI potentially taking their job. I'm worried, I'm starting to wonder, like, how hard would this be to program? But does this make you a little bit less worried about comedians' jobs being lost to AI if this is the funniest they can be at this point?
I am so worried about so many things at the same time because I'm constantly triggered. But I've done those VR shows before, and I think that we are headed towards what we saw in Idiocracy. In some areas, we're already there. And yeah, there's gonna be a world where people are going to be so indoctrinated into not leaving their homes, eating fast food, watching and being distracted constantly because it's easier to control you that way. But I think I'll have so much more to worry about when that world is here because I will be fighting for my survival.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe at that point we'll be more focused on the weaponized military robots rather than the AI George Costanzas. But I don't know. I find all of this really fascinating. It's developing very fast. I've been actively using a variety of different AI tools so that I'd be able to speak about it intelligently. I think that they are interesting in some ways. I think they are also shockingly uncreative as of this point, but that's going to continue to develop over time. So we're going to need to keep checking on this. For now, though. Oh, sorry, continue.
I'm sorry. I did a show with Adam Sandler at the Improv, and he was talking about how he had surgery that was done by robots. And I was just sitting there thinking, damn, the doctors, the teachers, honestly, it is a concern for people. And you go to school, you learn all this stuff. It's downloaded into a system and then a machine takes over. And if y'all think it's bad now.
Yeah, better watch out.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.